Booktube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you all about my Booktube-A-Thon Tbr. Yes, Booktube-A-Thon. Yes, I'm adding one more challenge because why not, right? If there's a challenge, I'm on it. And this is a reading challenge which I know I can do. No athletic ability required. Booktube-A-Thon is just a reading challenge that runs from July 18th to July 24th. So it runs for 1 week. It starts on Monday. It ends next Sunday. And it is 1 week of reading. The challenges, there's several challenges. There are video challenges. There are reading challenges. Right now, I'm only focusing on the reading challenge, which the #1 challenge is to read 7 books in 7 days. You heard it. 7 books, 7 days, which means an average of 1 book per day. In order to complete the challenges, there's 7 categories, and you can choose a book for each challenge category, or you can read a book that satisfies multiple categories. But in order to really complete the challenge, you need to read 7 books. So since I don't think that I will read 7 books in 7 days, I chose a few books that match several categories, but I still chose 7 books just in case I do get, I'm being optimistic after all, just in case I do get through all 7 books. When I've finished, I would have completed all 7 categories. So without further ado, here are my categories. Now, read a book with yellow on the cover. Read a book that you only read after sunset. Read a book that you discovered through Booktube. Find a book that is written by one of your favorite authors. Read a book that's older than you. I'm not that old. I could find books that are older than me. Hello. Read a book and watch its movie adaptation. And category 7 is to read 7 books. So here's how I chose some books to satisfy the category. My first book is Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. You know, Gabriel Garcia Marquez is one of my favorite writers. I chose this book. It has yellow on the cover. The writing is even more yellow. It's by one of my favorite authors, and I'm going to read the book and watch the movie. Love in the Time of Cholera satisfies 3 of my categories. The next book on my list is Debbie Macomber, Where Angels Go. I've never read a book by Debbie Macomber, but my mom told me about this book. She read it, she liked it, she recommended it to me. I promised her that I would read it. I've had this book for a long time. I need to bring it back to the library. And it's pretty short. It's pretty small. The font, I don't know if you can see the font. The font is really small. So this book is 290 something pages. But because it's so small, I think that I could read this book in a couple of nights. So if I read this book only after sunset, in a couple of nights, I'll be done. And so this is the book that I've chosen to read only after sunset. Debbie Macomber, Where Angels Go. The next book I chose is Kurt Vonnegut, Slapstick. You'll notice this book has yellow on the cover. Also, it's pretty small book. The font is pretty huge. It has lots of spaces, lots of pictures. So this is also an easy read. I think that I'll be able to finish this book in a couple of days. Although, you know, the average is 1 book a day. I don't have a couple of days to read a book, but that's not the point. The point is to find books that I really enjoy. I also chose it to satisfy the category of a book that you discovered through Booktube, because I was watching a video where a booktuber was talking about Kurt Vonnegut books, and I don't think I've ever read a Kurt Vonnegut book, and I need to do that. This book I own. It is Virginia Woolf, Mrs. Dalloway. I've never read Virginia Woolf. Never read Virginia Woolf. I know, pull my Booktube credentials right now. But no, I've never read this book. It's pretty short. It's less than 200 pages. And I think that I'll be able to read this in an afternoon or so. This book is older than I am. So this satisfies category of book that is older than you, category number 5. For a book to movie adaptation, I chose Bridget Jones's Diary. I own this book. I've read it before, but I think it's time for a reread because Bridget Jones is just hilarious. I own the DVD adaptation, and I know there's a third, I think there's a third adaptation, something coming out, and I think it's time. I really enjoyed this. This is a short, fun read, something that I can read in an afternoon. This would satisfy the category of a book that I discovered through Booktube. And even though it's 370 something pages, it is young adult fiction. It is a short, not short, but it's an easy read. So I think it's something that I could complete in a couple of days. So I'm adding this as my book that I discovered through Booktube, and also that it will satisfy my 7th book for the challenge. So 100 days is also on my TBR. Another book by Virginia Woolf called A Room of One's Own. This is not so much a book as an essay. It's 115 pages about the role of women in society, the power of women. Like I said, I've never read Virginia Woolf, but I have a tendency that when I find an author that I've read and really enjoy, I want to read other things that they've written. And since I'm going to be reading Mrs. Dalloway this week, I think I'll also read her essay as well. And so, yeah, there you have it. My 7 books for the Booktube-A-Thon Tbr. Now, it is almost certain that I will not get through all 7 books in 7 days, but I created a list because what is a challenge if you don't have an actual goal to meet? Now, suppose something happens. Suppose it rains all next week and I can't go anywhere. Then I will stay at home and I will read all 7 books, and I will have completed the Booktube-A-Thon Tbr list. So I have a goal. We'll see if I made it. So this is my first time doing the Booktube-A-Thon, and I'm really excited to do it. I am looking to meet other people who are doing the Booktube-A-Thon to connect. Let me see what books you're reading, and maybe we can buddy read something if you have chosen, which is really unlikely, but if you've chosen any of the books that I'm also reading, we could buddy read. Let me know how you're doing, how it's working out for you, if you're doing the other video challenges, which I haven't even thought too much about yet. But this is my list. This is me signing off. See you later. I'll be posting during the week to let you know how my readathon is going, and I hope to hear from you too. Hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribing already. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're also doing the Booktube-A-Thon and what books you've chosen. Send me a link to your video so I'll check it out, and hope to see you soon. Okay, bye.